All right, it's 1:30. We've got rising senior nose guard Landon Robinson. Scott Wyckoff, you lead us off.
Landon, how's the last couple months been for you since you guys finished up play?
It's been great. It's been great. The team, we're looking good. We're looking young, looking, revitalized, ready to go. The training, with Coach K, obviously lifting Coach K is awesome. He's getting our bodies, right, getting us stronger, ready for this upcoming spring ball coming up. And obviously we just got done with fourth quarters and going into spring ball. Everyone's super excited, ready to go.
Yeah, what's it like being back out on the field and hitting again?
It's awesome. It just really, it makes me feel young again, or I'm already young, but it just makes me feel like a little kid at recess. You know what I mean? It's just like you go out there and it's like you're playing the game that you love with your boys. So it's just awesome.
And also, what's it like being back on the field with Coach Hall? It seems like each season you've developed something over the course of that season. And I would have to believe you attribute a lot of that to Coach Hall.
Absolutely. Me and Coach Hall, we have an amazing relationship. He's taught me everything I know about D line. So I'm just, every time I get a chance to go out there and practice my craft with him, I'm just, always trying to pick his brain about what I can do to get better and, what other guys can do to continue to get better as a unit. So super excited to keep working.
And coming into the spring, what are you squatting, benching, and jumping?
Yeah, absolutely. We haven't been able to max recently, since just coming straight off the season and only having like a little over a month to really lift. So numbers are about the same. We haven't maxed really, but still lifting, some heavy weights. So just excited for the summer so I can continue to, see where I'm at. So excited.
And do you like being kind of a guy that younger players can look to and say, wow, look what he can do and what he can do in the weight room and what it's done for his game?
Yeah, absolutely. I just try my best to be, a good role model for the younger guys. And, obviously I'm trying to continue to improve myself. And so I don't get, too high on a, big horse, but I just try to just be a good role model for the guys.
Thanks.
Of course.
We're trying to three-peat on that Bruce Feldman's freaks list.
Absolutely. That'd be
How
awesome.
many people have been on three times?
Absolutely.
Wags.
So, Landon, why don't you bring us up to date on what feats of strength and athleticism did you perform this off season during winter workout?
Yeah, just working out with Coach K, just continue, trying my best to get strong, getting big with all the other guys. Like I said, we haven't maxed in a while, so we haven't been able to max since the end of the season. So just been lifting, just continue to lift, what I lift, benching, almost 500 pounds now and, squatting, close to 700. So yeah, just trying to just in the summer, I'll have more time to, beat those numbers. Right now, just trying to, stay strong, get ready for spring ball.
So is the summer when you do your serious testing, when they test your speed, all that kind of stuff? Is that when you do all the testing?
Yes, sir. Yeah. In the off season or before spring ball, really, it's more of just, get the bodies, back recovered from the season, get rid of the bumps and bruises and, get ready for, fourth quarters and spring ball. And then once you get through that process, the summer is where you really get, jacked and juicy and try and, push yourself to, exceeding those numbers from before.
So do you have any particular goals as far as the numbers? Like what is your top time on the catapult? How many miles per hour?
Well, my top miles per hour was 20 miles per hour. I think it was like 20.14, I think, something like that. My goal, I obviously want to try and get 21 miles per hour. That'd be super cool. So just trying to work that speed. But in terms of the other numbers, like I would like to, bench 500 pounds by the time the season comes around and, squatting above 700 would be awesome. So I was trying to beat those numbers every time I go in the weight room. So we're working.
Does Navy football keep records on that stuff?
Um, from what I know, I don't think so, but we'll have to look back, soon and see, what the record is, and maybe I can beat it.
So next to you at defensive end, Justin Reed was very reliable and very productive performer. It's going to be someone new, and there's some young guys. Strauss, help me out. Mutame?
You got it. Mutame.
Mutame.
Yeah.
Yep. Obviously, Crane LaFront. I mean, can you talk about some of the defensive ends? And I mean, do you feel that position will be capably filled by the time the season rolls around?
Absolutely. And like I said with Coach Hall, he's so great at developing players and getting guys ready to play. I'm not worried at all about that position. Jay Reed, he was awesome, very reliable guy for many years. But I think Julian, we got Ike, Ozarumba, we got Jake Lusk. We got Crane LaFond, obviously, all those guys are, they're chomping at the bit to get out there and continue to work and see who can, get that position. It's pretty much up for grabs, obviously. So, those guys, they're competing for a job every day. So I'm excited to see who comes out on top.
Ben Franklin's another one.
Ben Franklin, yes, he's another young guy. He's working. So yeah, it's very exciting.
I'd love to see him play because it'd be fun just to do a Benjamin Franklin story.
Absolutely.
How do you want to improve? How can you improve? I mean, do you feel like, there's things you can do better? And if so, what might some of those things be? I mean, I know the coaches are your toughest critics. Was Coach Hall sit you down after the season, say, look, Landon, you did great at this, but we need you to do better in this area?
Yeah, absolutely. Earning, first team all conferences, it's a goal that I've had and I'm, super thankful for that. But I think I can definitely improve, just on, my pass rushing ability, having, 4 sacks, that's good, but I can always want to get better, and try and have, 10 plus sacks this season if I can. So to continue to work on my pass rushing ability, working on, my explosion, off the ball in the run game and, get those TFLs for the team. So, yeah, so there's always something to improve on, always working on my strength, of course, that I talked about and my speed. So also my conditioning, obviously, play a lot of snaps out there. So that the more in shape I can be, the better. So I can play harder for longer. But, there's always something I can work on. And I'm working, talking with Coach Hall, just on what I can do better at that aspect.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but weren't Tyler Narayan and Willis at once nose guards at one point?
I believe Tyler Narayan was a tackle. I think he's always been a tackle. Yeah, and Griff, he was a nose guard.
Is Tyler over at end?
He is over at end. Yes, sir.
Right. So, I mean, you've got young guys behind you. I think Arrington is one of them. Can you talk about, I think in the spring is a time for you as a more veteran guy to help these younger guys develop, because somebody's going to have to come in and give you a blow here and there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Xavier Arrington, Chris Herock, Terrence McCauley, all those young guys, to Marcus, they're all guys that are, working just like the defensive end position, they're working for a position, we're all, that's what spring ball's for, even my position, I don't see it as, I'm going to be, the starting guy, I'm competing for position as well, trying to keep my spot. So it's just always, the competition's always there. And those guys, they're learning every single day. Like I say, from Coach Hall, getting better and better every day. And I'm excited to see, who's going to be the 1 and 2 at all the positions. So it's just our job to, stay hungry. You can't ever be complacent out there and, think that you have the job, because, as soon as you do, that's when you're either getting better or you're getting worse. And if you're not pushing yourself out there, you're getting worse. So that's how I see it.
So I mean, we've somewhat joked about this, but I'm actually not joking when I ask, is there a role offensively for you? I mean, those of us who've seen you run the ball know how capable you are. I mean, is that even in the cards?
Right. Yes. Coach Cronick, he's given a little hint at a little package that he might have for me on the goal line. So we'll see. We'll see in the spring and in the fall maybe if we break that out and make it happen. So I'm excited for whatever Coach Cronick can scheme up. So super looking forward to it.
Are you concerned that after you've had you've become famous for your fake punt runs? I worry about it whether it's going to work anymore, because I think every opponent is now looking for that. You are seriously on the scouting report with that.
Yeah, that comes with the territory, and that's it can be good and bad at the same time. Yes, they're going to be preparing for the fake punt every punt, but they're also going to be not rushing the punt as much. So there's good and bad to it. So we'll see. We'll scheme something up, make something happen.
All right, thanks a lot, Landon.
Of course, thank you, sir.
20 miles an hour on the GPS will get you a speeding ticket on the yard.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Being a rising senior, Landon, what's your goal coming into camp? I know in the past you've had different goals to earn a spot, and I know you've done quite well in spring camp before, but as a rising senior and what you're looking to do, what's your biggest goal?
I think my biggest goal as a rising senior, obviously, just be a leader for the younger guys. Of course, that's always something that I can improve at and just help the other guys get better at their craft. But also just always staying hungry to get better at my technique, getting better at every aspect, strength, speed, just looking at myself as a whole and just seeing what I can do better to continue to get better and don't be complacent. I think that's the biggest thing. I think as a lot of seniors just around the country, they get complacent, especially when they've had, a season before and they know, what the season looks like. They get complacent. And they're like, okay, I did, pretty good last season. Let's just, just go through the motions. But that's something that I'm trying to avoid. And I'm just trying to continue to get better every day and help the younger guys as well.
This is the time that you start spring camps, also the biggest time of the year for wrestling. Do you ever look back and think of maybe what if you had maybe wrestled in college instead of playing football?
Yeah, we have a combatives class actually here at the academy, and I was just going through the ground portion of that class, and we're wrestling around a little bit and working on different moves. So I'm just living out my dream in that class, I guess. But I wouldn't be mad at it, but I'm glad that football was my choice.
Now that you've run the ball a few times effectively, do they let you on the sidelines go through that little gauntlet with the orange things to hold on?
Yeah. We've done that a few times. So at the end of spring ball, I believe, or fall camp, we switch offense and defense for the indie periods for a couple times, just for a little fun. And I've run through that thing, and I'm pretty good at it, but it hurts a little bit. So yeah, I've definitely done that before. So it's pretty cool.
You talked about what Coach Hall means to you. What about Coach Baja? What does he mean to you, being a guy who's gone through everything that you've gone through as a college football player?
Yeah, absolutely. And he, obviously he's a little younger than, Coach Hall is. So, he's just some person you can go to and talk to, when Coach Hall's not around, or when you just need like a little correction, or you just need some advice on, something small, like, hey, Coach, like, how can I, do that better and do that better? And he can give you, more of an insight from, a little bit of a younger perspective. And like when I was doing it, at this time, he can just give you just good advice in that aspect. So he's an awesome coach, great coach.
Now, how much do you expect to go live against the offense during spring camp, and how heated does it get when you guys go up against each other?
Yeah, I think at spring ball we go against the offense 13 out of the 15 practices, so it's very physical. I expect if I do it every single day, I'm, like I said, I want to continue to get better and go against some great competition out there. We got one of the best offenses in the conference. So the more I can go against them, the better we all get. So I'm just, super excited for that. But yeah, it gets very, very heated, very physical in spring ball. Like I said, guys are, competitive. Guys are trying to get a spot on the roster. So it's you gotta go make your name known, get your name buzzing, as Coach Volker says. So it gets real heated, but we take care of ourselves, take care of the team, of course. So it's good.
Always looking ahead and not behind. Once spring ball is over, what are your plans for the summer?
Yeah, the summer, just continue to grow, continue to talk with the younger guys, continue to learn who they are. Obviously with the younger guys, we haven't spent as much time as a team together. So just grow as teammates, grow as football players, put in a lot of work over the summer as we'll be here on the yard for most of the summer. So just, going, getting something to eat after a good workout, just excited for that piece, but obviously working on our craft, working on our technique, and just giving advice to the young guys as we go into fall camp next summer.
What is it like for you on this journey to start to see kind of the light at the end of the tunnel that you've come through, thinking back of what it was like going to the prep school, then leave, and now as a leader on this team?
Yeah, it's awesome. You look back and it's like, what a journey. And it's just something that, I try to just keep in perspective that, I have a lot that I still want to accomplish here, and, don't, put one leg out the door before, you're already done. So I'm trying to stay in the moment, see that, we're almost done here, and just try and go even harder before it's over. So just trying to just soak it all in.
Anything special for spring break?
Just going back home, going back to Ohio, seeing the family. It's always great, going back home, seeing my brothers playing video games, and just working out, lifting, and eating. And that's pretty much it. That's all I do. So super excited to go home and see the family.
Awesome. Thanks.
Sir, thank you.
Coach Hall's not going to be happy when he hears you called him old. Why?
older.
Brandon, any target weight for you this coming season?
Still trying to stay around, 285. I over the past month or so, I got up to around 295 for the rising, senior day weigh-in and height weight measurement that we did. So that was good, but I think I want to play it around like 285, 290.
What did you learn last year? And I mean, you got a lot of playing time as a sophomore, but last year being the starter, and Biscuit no longer around,
Mm-hmm.
you learned about playing the position at the college level that maybe you didn't quite realize.
Yeah, I think I just learned how to, just stay composed, while you're, out there playing the game. There's a lot of moments, in the Army Navy game. There's a lot of moments, going against Oklahoma, this SEC team or Notre Dame even, where it's just like such big emotions, just so much going on, and you just have to stay composed and stay, in your zone and just do your job. I think that's what I learned mostly. You can't let the emotions and the crowd and everything going around you, take you out of what you need to do for this game. So I think that's the biggest thing I've learned. That's the biggest thing I'm trying to pass on to the younger guys, especially as we go into the season and emotions can, flare up and go up and down. So you just got to just stay in the moment.
So playing behind you last year were two very good inside linebackers in Colin Ramos and Kyle Jacob. And I know it's a different position, but those guys rely on those guys up front so much. Can you help some of these younger guys that are coming up, Mark Anthony Parker and Job Grant and even Blazard to some extent? Can you help these guys as they make the adjustment to having they're going to be playing a lot more snaps with Kyle Jacob and Colin Ramos gone?
Absolutely, absolutely. And in terms of, maybe linebacker, I can't help him out as much. That's more of, Coach Volker's job. But I think just as, like I said, the mindset and because football, more than half of, football is just going out there and having the right mindset to go hit somebody in the mouth. So I think just helping those guys, keep the right mentality of working, continue to put in the work over the summer and staying focused. And then when we get out there on the field, just helping everybody hone in and focus on their job. I think that's something I can help those guys at. But those guys, they're great players, and I'm excited to see them grow under Coach Volker. So I'm not worried about them at all.
So right now is when you're building a resume, if you will, to be a team captain. Is that something you aspire to?
Yeah, absolutely. That's something that, every senior, when you go from NAPS, you go to here and you see every year you see the team captains kind of come out, and it's, something that's very cool to me at least. So I think that's something that, I would like to, be if possible. But, I'm just trying to take it day by day and just, lead my teammates one step at a time. So
Well, I mean, obviously, I think you are a very high candidate for that. Any other seniors on defense that stand out to you as leaders that could be a captain of this club?
absolutely. We got Luke Pierce, Kenny McShann, Andrew Duhart, just to name a few, Tyler Narayan, Crane LaFond, all those guys are, great players and great people as well. So great candidates. So we'll have to see, what happens at the end of spring ball. But so, yeah, those guys are great.
Well, Scott was asked about the future. Have you decided yet what you would like to service select? I know it's not entirely your choice, but
Mhm.
do you know what you'd like to go for?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I think Marine Corps is more of my vibe, more of my, I just like the way, they go about their business and in terms of working out. I'm not really a big fan of being in the air, being, on the water. So I think Marine Corps would just fit me well, and I can work out, most of the time whenever I want. So I think that's what fits me better.
I'm scared. What did Biscuit end up doing?
He was a surface warfare, so yeah, on a ship.
Okay. You don't want to follow in his steps, huh?
No, I don't like the water very much. So
Well, it's interesting. We just got done talking to an Ohio kid who we found out is a Pittsburgh Steelers and Pirates fan. Uh,
oh.
are you on the dark side, or do you actually believe in Ohio team?
I believe in Ohio teams for sure. I'm a big my dad's a big Bengals fan, so I kind of just took that under my wing. So big Bengals, Bengals. I watch the Browns from time to time. If they're doing well, of course. But yeah, any Ohio team, I'll definitely turn on the TV and watch. So it's awesome.
Where you're from, are you closer to Cincinnati or Cleveland?
Cleveland, yes, sir.
All right, but you're smart enough to try to go with the Bengals instead of the Browns. Better.
Right. Yeah. From time to time, it depends. It depends.
Know that Mr. Strasburg is a big Cincinnati Reds fan.
Oh, I did not know that. All right, Scott.
Yep. Huge.
All right,
Nice.
I think I've asked all I can ask. Thanks, man. Appreciate
Of
having you.
course. No, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
I'll ask you about two guys. Griff Willis, who was your backup for part of the year, he moved to defensive end. That seemed to really shore up the run defense. And then Xavier Arrington, who moved in to be your backup and played very well at the end of the year as well. What's your thoughts on those two guys?
Yeah, those guys, absolute, just works. They actually just work. They're awesome. I work out with them all the time. We've been putting in a lot of work over this off season. Griff, obviously I've been working out with him a lot longer, but X, great, great guys, great people, but also just guys that just like to work on the field and going to be great players for sure. They already are. Griff and X, they already are, but they're continuing to get better. So awesome.
They're two guys that seem to have pretty fun personalities, as do you.
Right.
Does the D line have the most personality of any position group on the defense?
I would argue that, yes, sir. Yeah, I think we definitely have some good personalities and we vibe well, so it's awesome.
All right. Thanks, Landon. Enjoy your
Of
spring
course,
break.
of course. Thank you, Scott. Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Thanks,
Have a good one.
everybody.